Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear students, today we start the control structures and particularly the conditional structures. As the name suggests, that it is the combination of two words that specifies or explains many things. The first word is the control. It means, using common sense, we understand, we can presume that the control means to regulate or having the privilege to regulate. Means we are having some privilege or autonomy that can be used in different conditions. So similarly, many scenarios and application problems are coming in real life that must be simulated in terms of programming language, and that programming language in fact needs the use of control structures. There is no doubt that the control structures provide the power to the programming language, or sensible programming language cannot be written without the control structures. So there are three types of control structures. The first is the sequence. We can say that somebody can ask that what kind of things can be controlled through these control structures. So the answer is, we can control the flow of instruction execution. We can control the execution of instructions. We can control the execution of program statements. Means in what order our program instructions should be executed. And obviously the preliminary control structure is the sequence. In sequential structure, the statements are executed in the same order in which they are specified or written in the program. ये सारी चीज़ें बताने का मकसद ये है, और मतलब ये है कि एक सिंपल आपने प्रोग्राम लिखा, हेडर फाइल लिखी, मेन फंक्शन लिखा एंड सो ऑन, जो इम्पोर्टेंट कंपोनेंट्स हैं या पार्ट्स हैं, लाइन्स हैं, वो आपने लिख ली, और जो आपने अपनी लॉजिक अप्लाई की, फॉर एग्जांपल आपने 10 लाइन्स लिखी, 10 lines of code you have written. By default, the processor will execute the first instruction. After that, the second instruction will be executed, then the third instruction executed, and so on. So in sequential structure, the statements are executed in the same order, in which they are specified in the program. There will be no random execution, or the execution in pick and choose order will not be executed if we are using the sequential structures or sequence type of control structure. As the figure is given here, in which we have the statement 1, after execution of this statement 1, the second instruction will be executed. On the completion of second statement or instruction, the third statement will be executed, and finally the fourth instruction will be, or statement will be executed. Means the execution of statement 2 will only be given the chance unless until the statement 1 is not executed. जब तक statement 1 complete नहीं execute होगी, statement 2 execute नहीं हो सकती. So this is known as the sequential structure, that in many programs we have seen, and obviously you have gone through this observation, that your program is written somehow in some order. The particular terminology that I want to mention it over here is known as algorithm. This algorithm means this is a terminology that is normally and frequently used in the programming languages and the data structures. The word algorithm may be conceived or derived from the word al-Khwarizm. Means this concept was given by Muhammad bin Musa al-Khwarizmi, who was the Muslim scientist, very renowned scientist. So this algorithm means it shows or it specifies the concept that, for example, you are given any kind of problem, and then to solve that problem you must have to specify the different steps, and obviously in a particular order, to complete or to solve that problem. For example, you are given the task for the shopping and purchasing of groceries, clothes, shoes, and apparently you will decide first that which shop will become first in your way, or which shop or which route will be convenient to you, which route will be the shortest one, or for your convenience I should go to the shoes house first, then clothes, and finally I will come back after purchasing the groceries. So it depends upon you that how you are defining the different steps and their orders to solve that particular task or the obstacle or the challenge or any program similarly. If you are given a programming task, you have to define certain set of steps on their orders, that which step will be executed first, then which one, then which one. So this step-by-step procedure of solving any problem is known as algorithm. I repeat, step-by-step procedure to solve any problem, task, obstacle, challenge is known as algorithm. Yes, we are discussing the control structures and particularly the conditional structures. So we are having the selection. The sequence is the first type of this control structure, and in which the figure shows that line by line, statement by statement, the program is executed. The second type of control structure is known as selection. As the name suggests, that for example selection occurs when we are having more than one options. Selection is occurred normally when we have more than one options, and in daily lives we are observed, we know that many routine work is based upon the selection. Selection of book, selection of route, selection of dresses, you are doing that when you have more than one options, you have multiple options. So the selection structure selects a statement or set of statements to execute on the basis of a condition. This is a formal definition of the selection. For example, if you have 1000 rupees only and you intend to buy a book related to the programming language, now obviously it restricts you. There is some compulsion, there is some constraint, there is some limitation that you cannot buy a book beyond the price of 1000 rupees. So this is the general category. If book's price is greater than 1000 rupees, I will not buy a book, or I cannot buy the book. If the price of the book is lesser than the 1000 rupees, I can buy the book, or I will buy the book. So similarly, the condition occurs over here, and the result of this condition specifies only two possibilities, whether this condition is true or false. So for example, the condition is true, the statement 1 will be executed. If condition is false, the statement 2 will be executed. And finally, the execution will be terminated. The third control structure is the repetition. There are numerous examples. If you look around, you are dealing with repetitions, iterations, loops. For example, if we take the number series from 1 to 10, and starting from 1, we know that adding 1 into 1 results the 2. Again 2 plus 1, 3, 3 plus 1, 4, 4 plus 1, 5, and so on. For example, you would like to print your name by writing the C++ program 100 times. If we are writing the statements C out and within the quotation marks we are writing our names, and this is done 100 times, obviously it is not an ideal condition. That same thing I am writing 10 times, 100 times, and so on. If I would like to print on the screen 1000 numbers, so it will be the stupidity if I write each number, or if I print each number by using C out. So 100 lines of codes In fact, this is wastage of time, wastage of memory, and it is not a good logic. Okay, we can compromise if we have to print our names one time, two times, three times, five times, might be at most 10 times. But if we have to print our names 1000 times, it is not the way to write in this way. So the repetition structure executes a statement or a set of statements repeatedly. It is also known as iteration structure or loop. How the program will be controlled? When the condition appears and this condition is true, then within the boundaries of this condition, the statement or statements are written. If this condition is true, the body of this condition will be executed. Once it will be executed and it will go back, again condition will be checked. If it is true, the statement or set of statements will be executed, and so on. And finally, when this condition becomes false, so the body statements will not be executed and the control will move to out of the body of this conditional structure. Selection is done, can be used through if and if else structures. We will understand one-way selection, two-way selection, compound or block of statements, multiple selections, nested if, and comparing if-else statements with a series of if statements. One-way selection. The one-way selection can be achieved by using a keyword if, and selection means, I told you, if I have 1000 rupees, I will purchase a book. If, the if terminology that is normally we are using in our native language, so same is implied in the C++ language, and the syntax of one-way selection is given here. If and parenthesis start, and we will write the expression. For example, amount is greater than or price is greater than 1000, then statement. If this condition is true, this statement will be executed. If the condition is false, this statement will not be executed. The statement is executed if the value of the expression is true. Many operations in C++ program, we look at the conclusion that what is the result, either the result of this expression is true or false. Obviously we are related or we are concerned to the condition, but particularly with the validation of this expression is more important than the expression. एक्सप्रेशन हम लिख लेंगे, लेकिन कंसीडर इम्पॉर्टेंटली ये करना है कि क्या वो कंडीशन ट्रू हो रही है या फॉल्स हो रही है. So the statement is executed if the value of expression is true. The statement is bypassed, means this statement will not be executed and the control will bypass to the next instructions or statements if the value of this expression is false. The statement is bypassed if the value is false. Program goes to the next statement. The word if is a reserved word of the C++ program, or it is a keyword. The keywords or the reserved words, we cannot use them as the variables name. For example, आप एक वेरिएबल बनाना चाहते हैं जिसका टाइप है इंटीजर, और उस वेरिएबल में हम सैलरी लिखना चाहते हैं. एक तो तरीका ये है कि इंट सैलरी कर सकते हैं, लेकिन ये वेरिएबल कोई भी आप यूज़ कर सकते हैं, लेकिन इनमें आप कीवर्ड्स का यूसेज नहीं ला सकते. मिसाल के तौर पे कि इंट इफ, that will be an error and it will be the syntax error because C++ reserves this word for its own use. Similarly, we cannot use the main, we cannot use the return, and so on. Many keywords or reserved words are the part of every programming language. The diagram or the flow diagram of this one-way selection is in this way, that expression is given. If expression is true, the statement will be executed, and if when statement is completely executed, it will move to the next step. Similarly, if expression is false, then it will not execute this statement, rather it will bypass this statement and will go to the next step. If it is termination of the program, means these were the last statements, so it means the program will be terminated, or might be there is some statement, so even though it will be, this statement will be executed. The example is here that if score of the result is greater than or equal to 60, then grade is means pass, P. What will be the data type of this grade? I leave this question up to you, and the hint is you can answer by looking at the value of this variable. So in this code, so again remember we have declared two different variables in these two lines, although the program will be written as it is. So I have mentioned over here the main point that I try to convey to you. So in this code, if the expression score is greater than or equal to 60 evaluates to true, means if this condition becomes true, किसी तरह से स्कोर की वैल्यू वाकई 60 है या 60 से ज़्यादा है, तो ये कंडीशन ट्रू हो जाएगी. द असाइनमेंट स्टेटमेंट ग्रेड P executes. When this condition becomes true, then the grade P will be executed. If the expression evaluates to false, for example, अगर इसकी वैल्यू 59 है या उससे कम है, तो obviously ये condition false हो जाएगी and this statement will be bypassed. So same thing is written here. If the expression evaluates to false, the statements, if any, following the if structure executes. For example, if the value of his score is 65, the value assigned to the variable grade is P. अगर 60 से ज़्यादा मार्क्स हैं या 60 हैं, तो इसके ग्रेड में P स्टोर हो जाएगा. आगे आप इसे प्रिंट करवा दें. Here in this program, the objective or the purpose of this program is to write the C++ program that finds the absolute value of an integer. I hope so that absolute value, you understand that it results the positive value all the times. So these are the formal program structures that we will write, and we start from here. Int number and temp means temporary. There are certain conditions in which we have to store the variables temporarily. So you can write any other variable name, but as I told you that the name of the variable matters. The conventional use of these variable names should be self-defined, कि किसी तरह से हमें खुद पता लग जाए कि इस वेरिएबल का क्या काम होगा. So see out, this will be printed as it is on the screen. Line 1, enter an integer. जब इंटीजर लेना है तो ऑब्वियसली हम इस नंबर के अंदर कोई इंटीजर वैल्यू लेंगे, और हम यूज़र से इनपुट ले रहे हैं, तो इसलिए हम Cin लिखते हैं with the greater signs and number. Now at this step, the user has input the value in variable number, and cout and line is over here, means it will go to the next line. Then this number is temporarily saved into the temp variable, and why it is done, it will be very much clearly understood by looking at these lines. If number is less than 0, what does it mean? Why we are giving this condition, we know that the absolute value of 0 is 0, the absolute value of 1 is 1, absolute value of 2 is 2, means the positive values are having the same absolute values. The matter or the condition is that if the number is negative, then we have to perform any operation to make it positive. So if number is less than 0, means any negative number is given at the input by the user, then we have to deal with it. So what happens, अगर फर्ज करें कि एक वैल्यू है जो हमने दी है से -1, यहाँ पर जब इसने एक वैल्यू मांगी मैंने -1 दे दिया, वो -1 मैंने स्टोर भी कर लिया एक टेम्पररी वेरिएबल में। अब इस नंबर में भी पड़ा हुआ है -1 और इस टेम्प वेरिएबल में भी पड़ा हुआ है। अब ये नंबर जो -1 है ये कंपेयर होगा 0 से कि क्या -1 छोटा है या वैल्यू -1 वैल्यू छोटी है 0 वैल्यू से, एंड ऑब्वियसली यस। जब ट्रू हो जाए कंडीशन तो फिर उसकी स्टेटमेंट एग्जीक्यूट होगी, तो नंबर इज इक्वल टू द माइनस नंबर, मीन्स यहाँ पर क्या था -1, इनफैक्ट इस नंबर के अंदर -1 था। अब हम इसी नंबर की वैल्यू को मॉडिफाई कर रहे हैं इस नंबर में। -1 विल बी ऑब्वियसली मल्टीप्लाइड बाय माइनस it becomes +1 and +1 is appended modifies the value of variable number। अब इस जगह पे नंबर की जो वैल्यू है वो पॉजिटिव नंबर हो गई। यही रीज़न था कि उस निगेटिव वैल्यू को भी कहीं हमें स्टोर रखना है कि कहीं इस्तेमाल हो सकता है, इसलिए हमने टेम्प वेरिएबल में रख दिया था, क्योंकि नंबर की वैल्यू मॉडिफाई होनी है। तो नंबर की वैल्यू इस वक्त +1 हो गई, ये -1 है, ये +1 हो गया, एंड द लाइन विल बी प्रिंटेड एज इट इज़। एंड टेम्प मीन्स किस तरह लिखा हुआ आ जाएगा स्क्रीन पे, लाइन 7, the absolute value of temp means the value of this temporary variable। जो हमने -1 दिया था तो वो -1 लिखा हुआ होगा, लेकिन इस केस में हमने -6734 दिया हुआ है तो वो भी वैल्यू प्रिंट होगी। और फिर इज, और फिर उसके बाद नंबर शुरू में -1 था या -6734 था, लेकिन इस ऑपरेशन लास्ट जो मॉडिफिकेशन इसमें हुई है उसमें ये पॉजिटिव हो गया। सो द रिजल्ट इज 6734 पॉजिटिव। सो दिस इज द concept of absolute value। Thank you very much।